Okay, so to look for PhD position, advertise PhD positions in Europe, there are some websites which you can use. This one is one of my favorite
Go to
websites.
ChatGPT, tell hey ChatGPT, I have worked in these topics and I want to do my research in this kind of topics. Okay.
Who is the professor? Search more about the professor and just read a project description.
Going to their website and finding what they are doing. You can just do that for yours also. What you have to do is that you have to find.
US and Europe, you don't need any TOEFL exam or IELTS exam.
I would say that anything above 90 is very safe. Anything above 85 is also safe, I believe. But if you have 100 plus, you can apply to most of the university.
So how to do that? You make an Excel sheet, you copy paste each of the PhD positions from each of the websites, whatever we have mentioned earlier. Go to that, search your PhD positions there, advertise PhD positions.
Universities do offer fee waivers. So you just apply to the fee waiver and explain why you are eligible for a fee waiver.
3 people, 3 countries, and 1 long Zoom call. This is the Accidental PhDs, where 3 PhDs talk about research, science, grad school, and everything in between.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Accidental PhDs. I'm Karthik from University of Potsdam, Germany. And in this episode, we'll be talking about how to find a PhD position.
Yeah, that's one of the most important part of the PhD application, finding positions and shortlisting them. I'm Basil from University of Chicago.
And I'm Alok from Comenius University. And this is the second episode of PhD application series.
So let's start this episode and let's talk about how to find PhD positions. So the first step in finding a PhD position is making a priority list of research fields that you are interested in. So the first one on the list should be the field or the topic that you are more interested in and you have more research experience in. And you can list some other topics or some other research areas in the below down the list so that you can broaden your application domain.
Yeah, I would say just broaden your opportunities, even if you have interest in another field in which you don't have that much research experience, maybe just apply in that too. I mean, you never know. If you are interested in a topic, always keep it in the list, like always keep it as a secondary option.
Yeah.
Exactly. Never keep your field too narrow. Otherwise, it could happen that you could not get PhD.
Yeah. Also, if you have a internship experience from a different field, definitely add that to the list.
Yes.
So in the last episode, we gave a glimpse of PhD applications in US and Europe. In Europe, not most, but many of the PhD positions are advertised and you can apply directly through the portal. Okay, so to look for PhD position, advertise PhD positions in Europe, there are some websites which you can use. This one is one of my favorite websites, which is Euraccess, which I also use to look for the positions on which I'm currently working on. And here you have a lot of options to select from to shortlist different positions. I mean, if you just look for all the positions, it would be a long list to shortlist. If you're looking for, let's say, a particular country, here you can select which country are you looking for. And even a funding program you can select. If you are particularly looking for Marie Curie funded projects, you have an option there of MSc, which is this Marie Curie thing. You can just particularly look how many positions and which Marie Curie positions are available right now. And if you just search for PhDs, and you can even look for postdoc positions there. So if I just search for PhD position, and we have an option for search also here. If I just give some keyword, let's say if I write geology, we can also select some fields in this category. But even if I give this keyword and search, let's see, I have 19 results. You can just click on anything and read its description. Who is the professor? Search more about the professor and just read a project description here. If this interests you, then you can just directly email the professor that, okay, I'm interested in this position. And then if he replies, and even if he doesn't reply, you can still apply to it. I mean, whenever you find a position, it's always better to email him first, have a chat with him, and then apply. Then your chances would be, I guess, much more than people who are just without even contacting the professor, just applying it. And there are some other websites too. This is another such website, which is findaphd.com. This is more for UK, I would say. All the positions in UK are advertised here. Here also you can just select your type of funding and you can select whether you are a non-European student, because there are many positions which are just for UK students and many positions which are just for European students. So if you just select it here, then it will only show you those positions. And this is another website, vacancyedu.com. This shows PhD positions according to universities. So it will show you all the PhD positions in one particular university. So if you want to search in that kind of way, then this is a good website. And we also have scholarshipdb.net. This also gives a lot of options where you can shortlist according to your field.
There are many PhD positions which are not advertised. So how you can reach them? There are different ways. Like you can directly mail professor, or you can reach the lab. You have to find those labs which are related to your interest. So you have to find them. So the basic thing from where you can start is like you might have written your master thesis report. So during that time also you might have searched for many papers and you have referenced it. So from those references you can find the author list, author's name, and then you can find it in search it in Google or maybe Google Scholar, ResearchGate, anywhere, and then you can find the papers and then you can get the details from there. Also, if you don't have report, then also you can directly search these topics, like whatever topic you are interested in, you can directly search in Google Scholar, and then from there you can go to their papers and their profile. You can go to their websites also. From there you get to know about their university and go to their lab website also, and you can find it.
Okay.
Apart from this, there are several social medias like LinkedIn, Twitter. So Twitter and LinkedIn is two of the most used platform by the professors. They advertise their positions there also. If you are finding any name, just follow them there and keep checking daily that whatever positions they are advertising. And now I think till now AI has been become like AI has become more advanced. So if you don't know anything, just go to ChatGPT, tell hey ChatGPT, I have worked in these topics and I want to do my research in this kind of topics. Okay. So I'm looking for PhD position and I'm looking for a professor, I'm looking for a lab which are who are working on these fields. So please write me a prompt for AI. So you can ask ChatGPT to write a prompt, it will write a prompt, and there are lots of AI tools. You can use those prompts in different AI and you can shortlist. Now I think most of the AI they are doing this web search also. So they can just go to website and they can search and they can list it.
Yeah. Also, I would say you can always email the collaborator of your professor. If you have done your master thesis with some
Yes.
prof, look for his collaborators. You'll always have a better chance over there.
So, talking about the PhD application process in US, so it's quite different from the European system because we don't advertise our positions. Also, we don't advertise the positions in LinkedIn, X, or it's not Twitter. Okay, so all these things, only few of the professors advertise them. Even though if they are advertising, they are just saying that we have a position, you have to apply through the university. As Alok has mentioned, going to their website and finding what they are doing. You can just do that for yours also. What you have to do is that search, use AI tools, or search in websites of different universities that you are interested in, or use Google Scholars to give the keywords of the topics and find these professors and see which university he is in. If he is in a US university, then go to their website, see what is the application process to that department and apply through the department. Before applying, mail him, show your interest, ask for an interview if he is available before the application process, so that you can make a connection with him before the application starts. Then you apply, and the decision is finally decided by the admission committee, that is the department. And it's not like the professor is completely in control of who is taking. So he can just recommend you, or he can just show an interest on you that I'm interested in taking this guy, but the final decision will be by the admission committee of each department.
In this process, it's very useful to use social media in a right kind of way. I would highly recommend following all the big shots in your field on
Yeah.
Twitter,
Yes.
on LinkedIn. They'll definitely share, even if it's not in their lab, they'll share positions which are in the other available labs of his colleagues or maybe his some other connections. So using social media really helps, I would say. So talking about the timeline in Europe, it's all year round. The positions are always open, but I would suggest you to apply more in around December, because I think in December and January positions are more, and then after summer break there are more positions being advertised. But anyways, the positions are mostly open year round.
But in US, there are majorly two intakes, and the major intake is the fall intake. That means the deadline for their application will be in December, January. It even starts in November, December, January. So you should focus on those application cycle, apply in that period itself. Otherwise, you have to wait 1 year to get into the next cycle. So it's not open all year. So be prepared to apply within that time period. So talking about the application fees, most of the US universities have an application fee for their PhD application. So it will be like maybe 5,000 to 12,000 rupees for an application. But most of these universities do offer fee waivers. So you just apply to the fee waiver and explain why you are eligible for a fee waiver, then you will most probably get a fee waiver. Yeah.
But in Europe, it's not like that. I think most of the applications, they don't have application fee. So there is no limitation. You can apply as much as you want. But in my case, there are some countries or some universities where they take fee for application. For in my case, I had to pay application fee. It was around 4,000, 3 to 4,000. So
For English proficiency, unlike US and Europe, you don't need any TOEFL exam or IELTS exam. In most other universities, there might be some exceptions, but they just want a proof that you know English. So if you have pursued your education or your college education in India or anywhere in English, then that is enough as a proof. You don't need to write an exam for it.
But in US, you should have a TOEFL or IELTS. Without an English proficiency exam result, you cannot apply for programs. Even for application, you need that to submit. So yeah, if you're planning for US, definitely write an exam.
What is a
I
good
think
score if you want to get admission for TOEFL or etc.?
Yeah, for TOEFL or IELTS, the scores depends upon the university, level of university, also the type of university. Some of the Ivy Leagues may have very high cutoff, maybe 105, 110 out of 120 for TOEFL. I don't know for IELTS. And for some universities, I would say that anything above 90 is very safe. Safe. Anything above 85 is also safe, I believe. But if you have 100 plus, you can apply to most of the universities. If you
So
have
that is
110
also
plus, if you can apply to every universities, I believe. So my golden tip is to start early, especially for US. If you are planning to apply and join in the next year, you have to start working on it maybe by August or even before August. So you have to start working, prepare all the documents because there are a lot of things that you have to do. You have to find people who are going to give you an LOR, letter of recommendation. You have to mail them. They have to give you some LORs. They have to write them and give it to you. So you should not go and ask them, next week I have a deadline, you should give me a LOR. They won't give you. You should inform them at least 1 month before that I'm going to apply for this. So it will take time. Applying for TOEFL and writing and preparing for TOEFL, it will take time. Mailing professors, you have to mail a lot of professors. So it will take time that you have to go through all these department pages and everything. It will take a long time. And after that, there will be interviews in which you have to give interviews, and someone may reject you, have to give another interview, rejections and everything. You should have enough time for rejections also. Otherwise, the success comes after all these things. So they won't respond to your mail if you are mailing on November or December for a program whose deadline is December. They would have already discussed or made interviews, conducted interviews with the students in September or October. So if you start on October, then definitely, even if you have a good profile, they will not even reply to your mail. So yeah, start early.
okay, so golden tip I would give is like you have to do all these things systematically. You have to keep everything well organized. So how to do that? You make a Excel sheet. You copy paste each of the PhD positions from each of the websites, whatever we have mentioned earlier. Go to that, search your PhD positions, there advertise PhD positions, see the deadline, and paste it in Excel sheet. Also the deadline. So you have to visit each and every day to the Excel sheet also, and to all those websites also. If there is new position coming, you can again copy and paste that. So if you visiting this Excel sheet every day, you can see the deadline is approaching, then you can apply to that. Okay. Other thing what I will say, while mailing professor, you have to mail many professors. So you don't see that how big that professor is. If that professor is working in your research interest, then mail him. You don't have to think that this professor is from MIT, so he will reject. Okay, it's okay. Getting rejection is okay. You mail. Also, if you're mailing many professors, don't just copy and paste each and every mail to other professor. For every professor, they have some specific work that you have to change there. Also, you have to look at the name. You are
Each
whether
professor
you
have
are
a different name.
yeah, each
Each
professor have a
professor have a
different name.
different name.
So you have to see whether you have changed the name or not, even if you are copying the same mail. Okay. Also, if you are not getting reply, then you can give them reminder mail, maybe two more reminders mails after a week or maybe 5 days. You can give.
So golden tip from my side is to be consistent in emailing professors. It's really difficult if you're not hearing back from them, and if you're not getting a positive reply, if you're always getting rejections, to you might feel like, okay, I should not apply this time. Maybe I should wait for next time until I have a better profile. Don't do that. Just email or approach as many people as you can. It's not always you're not always getting a rejection because you're not good enough. It might be a possibility that they don't have funding, they don't have a position. So it doesn't matter if you are the best candidate in that field. Even then you'll get rejected if they don't have funding. So don't take it personally. And it's a statistical game. If you apply 10 people, it's a possibility that none of them would have funding or none of them would be having an open position with them. So apply as many people as you can. If you apply for 100 people or if you approach 100 people, at least 10 would be having a position with them and they will reply to you, they'll talk with you. So your chances are as good. So your chances are more if you just approach more people. That's a simple statistical thing.
In the next episode, we'll be discussing about writing SOP, writing CV, writing email, writing research statement, and everything. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and wait for our next episodes.
Also, we are there in social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. So just type the Accidental PhD there and you can follow us.
Yes, we are everywhere, and link for all the platforms are in our bio. We also have a Telegram group where you can personally ask us questions and we'll answer it if we know. And where we also post some of the supplementary material which we explain in the videos.
Okay, then see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye bye.